Hello everyone, I'm Anthony on Life, and welcome back to The On Life. In this video, I'm going to be going over 7 tips to help you build a reading habit. Now, as you probably already know, reading is an excellent thing to incorporate into your day-to-day life. But it's not as simple as just picking up a book and getting into reading. Just like anything else, reading is a skill and a habit, and these 7 tips are going to help you build a meaningful and powerful reading habit. Reading opens up your mind to new possibilities, takes you to places you can't physically go to, and helps you see the world from a different perspective. If you want to know why reading is better than listening to a podcast or reading a web article, we are going to be doing a separate video on that. Check in the show notes below to see if that video is available yet. We will be posting it soon. But for today, we're going to be talking just about how to get into reading, build that habit, and really make it a meaningful and enjoyable part of your day. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is to start with a book that is easy to read. Nothing will kill your motivation and your progress like biting off more than you can chew with a book that's too wordy, a topic that's too dense, and really you're going to have a hard time getting through it, and that's not going to get you excited about reading. Normally, I suggest starting off with something in the YA genre, also known as young adult. These books are typically well written and very engaging, but are written for a freshman in high school level reader, and that makes them very easy to read. Quickly getting through a few books is really going to help you get excited about reading more. If you're spending weeks or even months on a single title, that probably won't get you excited to keep reading, and it's going to be hard to build that habit up. You can save those more complicated titles for later on when your reading chops are up to par. One of my favorite books in the YA genre is The Chocolate War by Robert Cormier, and he is also one of my favorite all-time authors, so you really can't go wrong with any one of his titles, as most of them were young adult novels, and his writings did often border on that coming of age and more adult type topics. So if you are an adult looking to get into the young adult genre to get started, some of his titles are a great place to start. Tip number 2 is to start with shorter books. This piggybacks off of our first tip, and that is because when you are reading a really long book, it feels like you've been reading for hours or days or weeks, and you're not making much progress. If you're really engaged into the book, or you're just a habitual reader and you're going to read it anyway, this usually isn't a problem. But if you are a new reader and you're spending so much time on a single title, it's going to feel like you're not making much progress, which can demotivate you. Look for titles that are 250 pages or less, and don't be afraid of reading something like a novella, which might be as little as 100 pages. Although the goal of reading should never be to read as many books as possible, getting through a few titles will help motivate you and keep you going and help you to build that reading habit. One of the most popular short books is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Tip number 3 is to read a book along with a friend. Book clubs can be great. However, sometimes book clubs are a little too rigid, and you might feel too much pressure to keep up with the pace of the book club. Simply reading a book along with one other friend is a great way to stay motivated, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable because you have someone to discuss the book with. Being able to chat with someone about the book is going to help you dive deeper into the story. It's the same way with television when a new episode of your favorite show premieres, and the next day at work you're so excited to talk to your friends or coworkers about what happened. You can have the same experience with a book if you're reading along with a friend. While you can do this with just about any book, one of the best times I've had reading along with a friend was Shadow Divers by Robert Kurson. Tip number 4 is to read every day, no matter what. Habits are just that. They are things we do habitually, over and over again. Building a new habit is not easy, and in the beginning, sometimes we have to force ourselves to do the thing we want to do, but the best way to get it done is by doing it every single day. A lot of people prefer to read at night, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the danger of reading at night is if it's the last thing you're going to do in your day, you run the risk of not getting around to doing it. At the end of the day, you're tired from work, you're tired from whatever stress you face. Maybe you went to the gym and you're exhausted after a workout. And it's very easy to just want to sit down on the couch, watch TV instead of reading, or just go straight to sleep. And so if you read in the morning, that will make sure that you get your reading done every day. If you build it into your day as the first thing you do, you can get that done every day. And I'm not suggesting that you have to read 30 or 60 minutes every day. Simply setting a very easy to hit goal like 5 or 10 pages per day or 10 to 15 minutes per day can make it a very easy way to build that into your daily habits. For a good book to read in the morning, I would actually recommend The Cook-Up by D. Watkins because it's extremely digestible and the chapters are very short, so you could read just a couple of pages and put the book down to start your day and go to work without feeling like you're putting that bookmark into the book in the middle of a chapter and really getting lost in the story when you come back and trying to figure out where you are. A simple book like that has short chapters that stand alone on their own is ideal for people who are only reading a short period of time every day. Tip number 5 is to make sure that you have plenty of light when you are reading. I went through a period of time recently where I was getting extremely tired whenever I would read. And this could be in the morning, midday, evening. I tried sitting in different chairs, tried sitting in different positions. I tried not to read in bed, but no matter what I did, I was getting extremely tired. And I realized that's because of how the lighting is in my home. It's not really conducive for reading. So I purchased a book light that just clips right onto my book. It has 3 different brightness levels. It's completely adjustable so I can change the angle as necessary, and it charges via USB. I believe it's by a brand called iGoober. I will provide a link below where you can check that out. It was very inexpensive on Amazon. And since I have done that, I have been able to read so much longer, stay more engaged with the story. I haven't found myself getting heavy eyelids or having to go back and reread because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was reading. This one simple light has made such an impact on my reading and my ability to absorb what I'm reading. So make sure you have good reading light, whether it's natural light or a lamp or a book-specific light like the iGoober. It's really important to make sure that you have good light because that's going to help you stay more awake and stay more focused while you read. Tip number 6 is to remove distractions when you are reading. And by distractions, what I really mean is your phone. Smartphones are one of the biggest distractions in our lives today, not even considering how they distract us from reading. So my best suggestion to you is to put your phone on silent or airplane mode or keep it in another room. And that way it's not going to be constantly beeping, buzzing, or just tempting you to unlock it and see if you have any new notifications. Reading is all about getting immersed in the story. It's about finding your groove and getting to the point where you don't want to put that book down because you want to find out what happens on the next page. That is very difficult to do with a cell phone nearby if it's constantly buzzing or beeping. Don't lie to yourself. You know when you feel that phone vibrate, you get that itch, and even though you know you're not supposed to look, you habitually will take it out of your pocket or pick it up and look at what's going on. Removing that one single distraction is going to go a long way to helping you improve your reading. Now, if you're like me, you like to look up words that you don't know, and the phone is a very easy way to do that. So I would suggest either using a hard copy dictionary, or you can put a specific app on your phone that helps you turn off specific notifications from things like social media, so you can still use an app like dictionary.com. If you are interested in a book about removing distractions and the dangers of your cell phone, I would check out Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. Tip number 7, and this will probably be the most controversial tip on our list, and that is if you are not enjoying a book, stop reading it. I used to be the type of person that once I started a book, I was adamant about finishing it no matter how much I didn't care for the book. But because my time is extremely valuable to me, I have since stopped doing that. If I am not enjoying a book, I will simply put it down, give up on it, and move on to something else. Reading is a great way to sharpen your mind, challenge your worldviews, see things from other people's perspective, and educate yourself. But most importantly, reading should be fun. And if you're not enjoying a book, there really is no reason to punish yourself and continue to read a book you're not enjoying. How long should you give a book before you give up on it? That's hard to say, and it really varies book to book. But if it's been about a week and I really just can't seem to get into it, I will have no problem putting that book down and saying, this book simply isn't for me. What is a good book to start reading and help you enjoy it? Well, I'm going to go back to another Robert Cormier title, After the First Death. It is one of my favorite books of all time. If you check it out, I hope you like it. But if you do and you're not enjoying it, don't feel bad about putting it down and moving on to something else. I'm Anthony on Life. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other tips on how to build a reading habit, please post them below. I'm always looking for tips for myself as well, because sometimes, just like everyone else, I fall out of that reading habit and I need to get back into it. So share your thoughts with me, and you will see me in the next video.